and out of sight below their heavy fleeces, if only because he was a Russian, bent, so he had said, on defection. And there must have been a chance that his brothers and sisters in their embassy would come after him, and not being coy as to what methods of force they'd employ to get him back. 2 of the Danish PET boys, perimeter security they supposed, were lounging in chairs outside the room that had been arranged for them. They'd have had firepower, but it would have been a moot point if they'd use it. Right at the start, Wally had run an eye over the PET boy pair and had said from the side of his mouth, "Don't look much like Vikings to me," and had been answered in a stage whisper, "They were Vikings 1,000 years ago. A proper lot of water under that old bridge since then." Brian, the embassy security chief, would have carried gas and pepper stuff in the shoulder bag that dangled off him, but not a shooter. And time was ticking, and they'd not be on the move before the heavy mob came into town. Truth was, and Griff had already said it, he's brought next to nothing with him. I said to him last night that he should clear out every bloody file he could get his fingers into. The more the merrier. Paper and discs. Go for broke because he's not going back, emphasised it. Had to have a complete clear out of their system. I mean, I knew of him, but he wasn't a target. We didn't rate him as an A-list celeb, only a bit of a gopher. There he was, and I'm on the beach walking the dog. Comes up to me, bold as brass, not furtive. "You are Mr. Griffin, yes?" I must have looked blank, perplexed. "Come on, Mr. Griffin, it is not necessary to be shy. Where I work we have a good file on you, a fat file, and you are respected." I told him that he would need to excuse me as my dog needed walking. Did not faze him. "Mr. Griffin, I think you should be quite pleased. I am—" Gave his name and his rank, said he was GRU, and that he intended to defect to us in the morning. And I gave him the usual splatter about coming to an arrangement and staying in place, which he ignored. "No, Mr. Griffin, it is tomorrow morning, and I am coming to you, and no turning back, and I will not look behind me. That is it, a decision made." So then it was all the stuff about clearing out every file he could lay his hands on last night, enough for a wheelbarrow load all three. That's what Griff had said. They had heard the first questions that the station chief had put to the Russian, and the answers were in good English, clear sentences, but not vernacular. First up was the answer that very little had come with him. He was an officer in the military intelligence section attached to the embassy. He had the rank of major in the Glavnoye Razvedivatelnoye Upravlenie, and he should have been a treasure trove. Both Wally and Doug had heard the response to the question. "And what have you managed to bring out with you?" GRU was top of the pile, the best quality intelligence-gathering organisation they had in their federation. But he had shaken his head and said with a dismissive waft of his hand, as if it were a trivial matter, that there had been colleagues in the inner sanctuary of the embassy on Christianegade, white stucco and modern, and he had not thought it prudent to be seen downloading, printing, stacking material in a bag, nor hitting the keys and filling a memory stick. He had brought very little with him, and that he had detailed. They had seen the frown knit deeper on Griff's forehead. The man had shrugged, and had said that he had plenty to say, that he would be most useful, and had launched into a brief monologue of attitudes and policies emanating from the current Kremlin apparatchiks. They were brought more coffee and a plate of biscuits. Wally said, "Thank you, Mom." Doug said, "Grateful, miss, appreciated." Not a hint of a smile in reaction, but she told them in a clean, clear, quiet voice, "Actually, I'm not called Miss, Ma'am, or even Francis. Always known as Frank. Excuse me." Griff came over to them, looked in poor humour. "Taught me